Hello boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mumbai, India. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Mr. Pose, and last year I was the dance teacher at LFCSA. And at the end of the year, I got a very special offer for this exciting opportunity to move to India to be the personal trainer and circus coach for Aamir Khan, who's India's biggest movie star. So I've been over here now for about a year and had an incredible time. Aamir's a great guy and a really amazing actor. And here I'll show you a couple of his movie posters. So these are just a few of the movies he's done over the years, but he's actually starred in 42 different movies, so I'm not going to show them all to you. But this is just an idea. Recently what he's been working on is a TV show called Satyamev Jayate, which means Truth Alone Prevails. And it's a TV show that's about different issues in India that are important. And as part of that, Aamir wanted to travel around the country and meet different people and like directors of schools and politicians, and speak to people all around the country about these different issues that he was dealing with in the show. And so since I have to train him every day, I got this really exciting chance to travel all over the country with him and see these amazing places. So in a minute, I'm going to show you a video that I took all over the country to share with you guys some of the adventures that I had on this trip. So, now it's time for us to take a trip around India. So, let's get right into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy, and thinking about you guys a lot. Big hug from Mr. Pose. The first stop on our trip was a place called Kerala, way down in the south of India, where you see the red arrow pointing on this map. Kerala is famous for the backwaters, which is kind of like the bayou that we have in the US. It's a huge system of 5 different lakes, 38 rivers, and countless canals that all connect to create a huge network of waterways all through that region. And in fact, in this part of the Kerala backwaters, there aren't any cars. You can only get to these villages, and from those villages to others, with boats. The main things that make the Kerala backwaters so famous, besides just the beauty of these gigantic bodies of water and little canals leading through the villages, is the plant and animal life. So in the region that I was in, it's specifically known for all the different kinds of birds they have. They have dozens of varieties of all kinds of different birds, as well as plant life that only exists in this region because of the mix of the salt water that comes in from the ocean and then the fresh water that comes out from the river. So it creates a very particular ecosystem where there's a lot of flourishing of different kinds of plants and animals. This guy, for example, is called a snake bird, which you can probably guess by the shape of his neck why he has that name, but he also hunts snakes. This is one of the houseboats that you see, and all through the backwaters you see just literally hundreds of these houseboats. Some of them are parked on the sides of the rivers and you can stay in them overnight, and some of them are just cruising down through the canals. So here we are. Advar, what is this village? The name of this village?
Ilikalam.
Ilikalam. This is Ilikalam, and this is a racing boat that 100 people sit in, and people sing, yeah? They're singing and music also?
Again?
That was great. Okay. So this is a boat that 100 people row during these, they're called snake boat races, yeah? Snake boat races. And this entire thing is one very, 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 very long rowboat. Oh my gosh. So 100 people sit here and row, and then apparently they have another 25 people who sing these songs, like the one that Ardrar just sang for us. Thank you, Ardrar, that was beautiful. And they have these huge races through the backwaters of Kerala. We gotta get to the end of the boat. My gosh. Hello, sir. And here's the front. So from the front, the boat goes all the way to the back of the building. Our next stop was Srinagar, up in Kashmir, in the northwest of India, where this red arrow is pointing. Kashmir is up in the Himalayan mountains, and though it's part of India, some people think it should be part of Pakistan, and other people want it to be its own country. So as you can see in these videos, there's a lot of military presence and a lot of people with machine guns. Although what we found up there is that not only is it absolutely one of the most beautiful places I've ever been, but everybody was incredibly friendly. And here you'll see all the villagers who came out to see Aamir while we were shooting. Okay.
We have winter holidays, so everybody is at house, you know. So that's why you see them all over.
All right.
And they are with their
So can we say hello to my friends in California? So here we are in Kashmir. What is the name of this village?
That's called Surfal.
Surfal.
Sonmarg.
Okay.
Village and route to Sonmarg.
Got it. And we just had explained. Can we see the fire pot again? So this is how these guys keep warm in the winter. They have this pot inside of a basket with hot coals inside, and they put them underneath these cloaks, and then they hold them with their hands all day to keep themselves warm in the snow. Very cool. Thanks, guys.
And that's our tradition in Kashmir. In Kashmir, that's our tradition. To wear it.
So where do you put it? You put it underneath here?
Yeah, it's called parrot.
Okay. Okay. So when we first arrived in this village up in the mountains from the city below, Srinagar, there were about maybe 20 or 30 villagers who saw us arrive with all the cars and the police and the movie cameras. But word travels quickly. So as we were up there shooting, more and more people started showing up. And by the time we were ready to leave a few hours later, pretty much everybody from all the villages in that region had come out to see. And this is after we had been there for a few hours. As soon as Aamir headed back down toward the car, suddenly we had hundreds and hundreds of villagers rushing down to see him, cheering, asking for autographs, and practically stampeding all over each other to get down and try to catch a sight of him. So as you can see in the back there was even a riot control truck that had come just to make sure that everybody was safe, because there were so many people wanting to see him. And the last thing you're going to see here is some photos of some of the people that were there in that village up in the mountains. Really beautiful people, and everybody we met was so warm and friendly and excited to see us, to take pictures with us, to have us take their pictures. It was really just one of the most beautiful, warm, friendly, open places I've ever been. Good morning, boys and girls at LFCSA. Here we are in Srinagar on Lake Dal. Dal Lake in Srinagar in Kashmir in the north of India. And here, let's do a little 360 of the view. So we're on the boat on the way to a market that is on a much larger boat. What's it called?
Vegetable market.
The vegetable market.
Floating vegetable market.
We are on the way to a floating vegetable market. It is far too early in the morning.
We are in a boat named as a gondola like this, called a shikara. Shikara means relax.
Okay. The gondola is called shikara.
The gondola name is the shikara, Kashmiri name.
Okay.
Next one you can say it's a relax.
Okay.
It's all manually. You can take your camera back. You can see how the person is rowing. You can take him. That's it. It's all manually. So. We are here, these are the line here, this is all vegetables. So we grow.
So this is a vegetable garden right here.
This is floating vegetable.
Floating, this is a floating vegetable garden, ladies and gentlemen.
Right now
right
this is dry, so it's a different look.
Right.
In summer it's more green.
So this is a floating vegetable market.
Floating vegetable
in Dal Lake.
That's in the morning for about one and a half hour.
Okay.
This remains for the 1.5 hours.
So the people just come and they bring whatever they sell, they bring on their boats.
They come in a boat, these kind of small boats.
I thought it was one huge boat. It's just each person just sells what they have on their boat.
Like this kind of boat.
Oh my gosh.
Forget long lumber.
Good morning.
Na alarm to went here. Swan. So these are the geese.
सर्दियाँ भी मतलब ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 20 डिग्री 19 डिग्री इस बार ही काफ़ी सर्दी पड़ी तो 15 डिग्री
Good morning.
और 0 डिग्री में बहुत फर्क है।
15 डिग्री यहाँ समर है।
अच्छा समर में 15 डिग्री
यहाँ पर 15 है क्या?
हाँ जी
15 में हम जैकेट भी नहीं पहने। अभी 12 हुआ था पिछले दिन तो हमारे पास नहीं।
Next stop was a city called Jaisalmer in Rajasthan, where that red arrow is pointing. Now, as soon as we got to Jaisalmer, there are two things that I noticed. The first was the amazing architecture, which you guys will see in just a minute. But first, I was filming this, and I was thinking about how at LFCSA, in the beginning of the year, we all go through the part of the neighborhood where our school is, and we talk about how different people live and work. And here, it was just so interesting to see how different the way that these people live as a community is from the way that we do it back home. Whereas most of our houses and apartments are separated with walls and space, and everybody really keeps a pretty fair amount of privacy. As you can see in this video here, people's lives are much more interconnected, and you see this through a lot of different parts of India. Different ways where there aren't as many walls separating people's homes, where a lot of the villages are really interconnected, and people interact with each other on a daily basis. Even when they're in their own home, they're still connected to their neighbors and the people around them. And here you're seeing one of the streets in the city of Jaisalmer, and as you can see, all of the walls of these buildings are made out of this intricate hand-carved stone. It's really one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my life. Just stunning. Another really interesting thing about India is how much you have different animals that are in the streets all the time. So here you see, for example, these boars that are just walking right down the road, and you also regularly see cows, goats, dogs, and cats literally walking right through the streets of major cities. America. America है.
Oh, my son, America, Washington headquarters.
Wow.
My son, BD Prahed, MD Prahed.
बहुत अच्छा. Wow.
Washington headquarters.
Okay.
Wow. Two sons.
Wow, congratulations.
My two.
बहुत अच्छा. Wonderful.
MD Prahed.
Hello again, my friends. So here we are in a little town called Amritsar in a place called Punjab, and we are having an assembly right now. So this is what an assembly looks like in this town. These are all the kids from the school, and they're all here because the actor I work for is here playing hockey with some of the kids. Right over here.
Come, back. Very bada khiccho. Go.
Kids, this is what we do for PE in Punjab, India. And it's really fatiguing. And I think I might just fall down and cry now. Thanks, guys. Woo! बहुत अच्छा है. धन्यवाद. Our very last stop on this trip was Sikkim, which is way up in the northeast part of India, near the borders of Nepal, China, and Bhutan. The first place we went to was the top of a mountain near the city of Gangtok, where there was a beautiful mountain just covered with all of these prayer flags. After that, we went into the city, where Aamir was inside of this hotel. And Aamir is really, really famous in a way that kind of doesn't even exist in America for our movie stars. So whenever we go places, something happens that we call mobbing, which is basically what you see in this video. Hundreds and hundreds, sometimes thousands of people come out just to get a chance to catch a glimpse of him or get his autograph or to try to shake his hand. And as you can see, we travel with a team of bodyguards who aren't there to protect him from anybody trying to hurt him, but just to make sure that he's safe and that nobody in the crowd gets hurt. Our last stop was a monastery where Aamir got a chance to play soccer with all the monk children. This is one of the most beautiful places I think I've ever been, not only the mountains and the monastery itself, but also the people. The adults were all so helpful and peaceful and gentle with us, and the children were just adorable. All of these young kids who are training to be monks and actually live here in the monastery. So here they are playing soccer with Aamir. One thing that I think is funny to see coming from LA is the shoes that they're wearing. Not exactly the kind of footwear we have back in the States for playing soccer. Also, in the time I've been here, I've taught Aamir how to juggle, and he wanted to juggle for the kids, but we hadn't brought any juggling balls. So I ended up running down to a restaurant around the corner from the monastery and getting these onions that he was juggling with and having the kids try too. And the very last thing I wanted to show you guys from Sikkim was this video I captured of these two boys playing in the grass while the other kids were playing soccer. It reminded me right away of being back at school at LFCSA with you guys and seeing all the different ways that we like to help out our friends. What you'll see here is that these kids have these robes that they wear, these monks' robes, and the young boys actually don't know how to wrap them because it's kind of a complicated process of how you put it on. And so here you see one of the older boys helping the younger kid put on his robe. And I just think it's really special to see that no matter where you go in the world, no matter how different people look, no matter how different their life might be, no matter how different they might dress, that really at the end of the day, we're all just out there trying to help out our friends and have a good time. And it's really special to see people taking care of each other like this anywhere you go in the world. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this trip around India with Mr. Pose. I want you to know I'm thinking about you all the time. Hope you guys are having a wonderful year dancing. And last but not least, I'm going to leave you seeing the actual video that was made from this trip we took all over India. So this is the music video montage that's been playing on TV here in India. And I miss you guys. See you soon.
तेरा रंग ऐसा चढ़ गया कोई और रंग ना चढ़ सके तेरा नाम सीने पे लिखा हर कोई आके पढ़ सके है जुनून है तेरे इश्क का ये जुनून है रग रग में इश्क तेरा दौड़ता ये भावना सा खून है तूने ही सिखाया सच्चाइयों का मतलब तेरे पास आके जाना मैंने जिंदगी का मकसद सत्य में बजते सच्चा है प्यार मेरा सत्य में बजते सत्य में बजते तेरे नूर के दस्तूर में न हो सलवटे न शिकन रहे मेरी कोशिश तो है बस यही रहे खुशबुए गुलशन रहे तेरी जुल्फ सुलझाने चला तेरे और पास आने चला जहाँ कोई सुर न हो बेसुरा वो गीत मैं गाने चला है जुनून है तेरे इश्क का ये जुनून है रग रग में इश्क तेरा दौड़ता ये भावना सा खून है तूने ही सिखाया सच्चाइयों का मतलब तेरे पास आके जाना मैंने जिंदगी का मकसद सत्य में बजते सच्चा है प्यार मेरा सत्य में बजते सत्य में बजते तेरा रंग ऐसा चढ़ गया फनशा जो और भी बढ़ गया तेरी बारिशों का करम है ये मैं निखर गया मैं संवर गया जैसा भी हूँ अपना मुझे ये नहीं है बोलना काबिल तेरे मैं बन सकूं मुझे द्वार ऐसा खोलना सांसों की इस रफ्तार को धड़कन के इस त्योहार को हर जीत को हर हार को खुद अपने इस संसार को बदलूंगा मैं तेरे लिए है जुनून है तेरे इश्क का ये जुनून है रग रग में इश्क तेरा दौड़ता ये भावना सा खून है सत्य में हम सच से नजरें हटाएं क्यों? खुद को बदलना है अगर बदलूंगा मैं तेरे लिए, शोलों पे चलना है अगर चल दूंगा मैं तेरे लिए, मेरे खून